From alligator Alcatraz and Indiana's Speedway Slammer, now the DHS is introducing the Cornhusker Clink. That's the name of Nebraska's newest migrant detention center that will house 200 illegal immigrants with plans to expand to up to 300. Now, this is all part of ICE's plan to add 18,000 beds to 11 new facilities. Those facilities stretch across the country from Newark, New Jersey, Mason, Tennessee, to the Lone Star lockup in El Paso, Texas. Nebraska's governor joined America's Newsroom this morning, touting the efforts done by his administration and the DHS to get this done. Watch.
The entire southern border wall.
The bottom line is we're not worried about names. We're worried about supporting and doing our fair share. We've heard the president loud and clear saying governors of the incredible United States have to step up and do their part. We have our National Guard being a part of it. We have our State Patrol being a part of it. And then Director Jeffries and Department of Corrections. Anybody that would question it needs to be there to be able to see the bad people that have been allowed to come across the last 4 years. They're in our communities. It's important we get the criminals out and we get them removed.
Well, this detention center is just the latest move in Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. And now a big change is coming to the border wall that they hope will deter future illegal crossers.
We are going to be painting the entire southern border wall black to make sure that we encourage individuals to not come into our country illegally, to not break our federal laws, but that they will abide and come to our country the right way so that they can stay and have the opportunity to become United States citizens and pursue the American dream.
The Rolling Stone said, paint it black. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, of course, I mean, them painting it black is another deterrent. It makes it very hot and difficult to traverse. And so, and I think, first off, it's such a sea change from the Biden administration to what we're seeing now under the Trump administration. The level of organization and strategy that's put into this. I mean, if you look at under the Biden administration, if you showed up, illegal immigrant shows up, if you're caught at all, you're given a court date, you're released into the country, and you can just, of course, most of them don't show up to the court date. They just get to, be here in the United States free of charge. But under the Trump administration now, look, you're detained. There's order to the process. It's very clearly spelled out. ICE actually has resources now to be able to house all these different illegal immigrants. And so I think what we're seeing now is at the end of all of the chaos, and finally there's order across the country from the Cornhusker Clinker to the Lone Star lockup. I love these alliterations.
I know.
So I think that's the main difference that we're seeing now.
And Molly, the Cornhusker one says it's going to house the worst of the worst. As we've been talking about all day, there's a lot of really bad people in this country. And will this take great strides to contain and then export them?
Yeah, this is all part of the Trump administration's goal, and they've been trying to ramp things up, and it seems to be successful. And they have, along the way, also found some of these governors that have come fully on board with them. Like, for instance, the governor there in Nebraska, who's thrown his support, saying he's pleased about this facility, the country's communities today helping out with this. Also, the Nebraska State Police planning to work alongside. So you have a state that's throwing everything behind the effort, the national effort, the president's effort, and putting their own team behind it. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. The name alliterations that I think are very popular on one side of the aisle, unpopular on the other side of the aisle, particularly looking at that as offensive to a certain degree. But what really matters is how effective things are. And so the left can push back on this and argue that these are offensive names, but what they should be focused on is, if you don't like that, what are the changes you want to see?
Yeah, and I'm more offended by all of the people getting murdered by illegal immigrants than names.
Well, or more offended by the first story we covered, that tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors were released to unvetted sponsors. Because if the left actually cared about the humanity of illegal aliens, first of all, they wouldn't have open borders. Encouraging young women to cross the southern border with estimates of upwards to 60% or more are raped or sexual assault. NBC noted in an article last year about the problem with more migrant women being pregnant, impregnated by cartel members and these terrorists who engage in this. Also, the unaccompanied migrant children exploded under the Biden administration. So they don't care about humanity. They care about political capital. They care about the apportionment for Congress as well as electoral college votes, and at some point a path to citizenship and voting rights for all these illegal aliens that they came into the United States. So if anything, the party and the administration that actually cares about humanity is the administration trying to stop all that happening, from shutting down the southern border and also deporting 70% of these individuals that have been deported are criminals.
Yeah.
or are pending charges.
Right.
Well, to deal with this problem that has been decades in the making, it's going to take a lot of work. This is just one part of it, and a lot of good has happened in terms of deporting criminal aliens, but there's so much more to be done.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.